because the best example that I from back in the day for me was always the whole PlayStation Online versus Xbox Live, and the way people would try to pretend that PlayStation was better simply by the fact that it was free. And I'm like, that doesn't make it better. That makes it free, but not better. Okay, there's a
Or
difference.
free is superior to all. Didn't you know that, Chaos?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, it's just yeah, inherently.
yeah, free is superior. Can't change my mind.
It's amazing how
Now,
often
now,
free just
if
makes
you're
it.
someone who's genuinely like, you know what, I didn't have any money at the time. There was no way I could afford anything. I had like 3 games. I couldn't. My mom, or I didn't have the income, or I was a kid, and my mom wouldn't let me pay for anything else extra. That's all I had, so I was grateful for what I had. That's awesome.
Oh, that's
No
that's
issue
that's
with
a
that whatsoever.
completely different story. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
I
that is.
wanted to play Xbox Live, but I literally couldn't find another $5 to $10 a month for it.
Right, right. That's 100% fine. And
Hmm.
we and I actually applaud people that found a way to play anyway. It's like, oh, that's cool. You got to play anyway. Um, I need to move this over here. Let's see, do this. Do it. Do it.
Do it.
Yeah. Do it.
Every time.
but, but
Hey.
y'all know what I mean by oh, Luke. He's in. What I mean by hot takes. Because I know I had to kind of figure out what people meant by hot takes anytime they would say it. I'm like, what exactly is a hot take?
Like In-N-Out fries are superior to all. You can't change my mind. Fight me.
Right, right. That's a good example. I love In and Out, by the way. I love In and Out. Give me their animal everything, and I'm a happy man.
Very yes.
Mm-hmm. Dude, that's a good burger. That's a good burger. Good
It's
company.
not
Straight fries, I'm good.
not worth the hype, but it is a good burger.
Mm-hmm. I also recommend if you all. I don't know if there's any more
Luke, you should
anywhere
join
near
the
you.
Xbox Live party.
On it.
Join the Xbox Live party, have a lot of fun.
I was doing the whole Elmo thing at the end of lobbies with Camper earlier. He was trying not to laugh. We had some pretty goofy
See, I
stuff
I can
earlier.
laugh because they can't hear me. I can hear their response, but I can't. They can't hear my giggles. So, and there's no good remedy to that as far as a in-game microphone, besides just reattaching it to my headset and not using this setup at all.
Hmm.
Yeah, because Xbox doesn't support any of the USB mics.
Oh, that's right.
So I saw one thing, the workaround to use your USB mics, and I needed like 10 more things to do it, and it all ended up plugging into my controller anyway. I'm like, no, nope. If I want to play with my PlayStation friends, they can either choose to not hear me, or I have to choose for my stream not to hear them.
All right. If my power just flickered, so if things get freaky and cut me off, all of a sudden it's the weather. Just FYI, in case it does.
That
It's just how
happens, the
flickered.
show's over. I don't know if we can carry it without you.
Whoa, it just flickered again. That was
It's
some
not
pretty.
the exporter. Got it.
It's going through. It's having fits.
Yeah, it's the thunder's pretty heavy. Now don't get me wrong. I love thunderstorms. I love thunder and lightning. I love rain. I love, but when power cuts out, that's when it's like, damn, that sucks.
I'm tempted to, or I'm not tempted. We're obviously going to live through it. I'm curious is the word I was looking for, to see how the weather's going to be this winter. We get snow up here
Oh.
pretty regularly,
Yeah,
So,
same here.
so I'm curious as to see how the power is going to hold up to that. I imagine since it snows on a regular basis, the infrastructure is set up for it, and we won't actually lose power. I really hope we don't lose power because everything in our house is electric.
Oh boy, yeah, same here.
Yeah, that would not be good. The only snow we get around here is in the form of a cone. It's called a snow cone. It's only snowed like once in the past 30 some odd years in Bakersfield.
It's because you
So-
live in one of the armpits of hell.
Yeah, the the Southern Valley Desert of
Mhm.
California. Thank you very
For
much.
for those of you that don't know, hell has at least 17 pits of hell. So armpits of hell, excuse me, armpits of hell.
Yeah, yeah.
That's not theological though. That's not biblical by any means. It's just my hot take on certain places in California and Nevada
Yeah,
and so on.
Boy, yeah, California
You know-
boy.
Hey,
I live in the
watch
Bay
it.
Area. That's
Listen.
the other pit.
Ah, shoot, son. Listen, this is God's country. It's God's country. You know why it's God's country, ladies and gentlemen? Because only God likes it. But
That's debatable. That's strongly debatable.
True.
So, but, all right, everybody's here. Welcome.
Video game hot takes. Borderlands 2 is superior to all other Borderlands before and after. I think that's more of an
Oh,
agreed upon.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree
Yeah.
at all. Yeah, Borderlands 2 is fantastic.
Now with that though, I think I did have more fun with Borderlands 1.
I had a blast with one
Mhm.
because of the DLC specifically.
Now going back and playing Borderlands 1, I did on my my Xbox One. I re-downloaded
they
it.
did the remaster.
I
whatever it
didn't
was.
realize how lonely Borderlands 1 was until I played it a second time. Like, there's hardly any interaction. Every once in a while, Claptrap pops on, and there's new bounties at blah, 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 blah. And, yeah, it's like, it actually kind of grabbed a very lonely RPG or what are those? I don't even know. They're not
Looter
Ro-
shooters.
ro-
looter
Kinda-
shooters. Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
Borderlands 2 is where it got absolutely crazy.
They're fun games.
Yeah.
I was basically disappointed with 3. I didn't hate it or anything, but and there was a lot I liked about it, but it just
I have yet to buy the other 3 DLCs.
right.
And I don't know if I'm
yeah.
going to. I bought Tiny Tina's Wonderland and I played a little bit of it and then kind of haven't thought about it for a while.
yeah,
It was funny.
It was hyped up. I mean, honestly, it was so close to being good.
So do you remember
That's-
in Borderlands 2? Do you remember Tiny Tina's basically the D&D DLC?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Some badasses.
yeah. So it's that turned up to 11. They didn't take it over the top like they did with Borderlands 3, which I was very thankful for. There's still a lot of ridiculousness going on. I need to finish the game. I need to finish the game before I form my complete opinion of it. It was fun so far.
Yeah, we need to get back to that. I think we can get it knocked out pretty quick.
I think so. If we just pay attention and go and stop looting and just completing all of the side missions, we can do that later.
Yeah.
What about you, Luke? What's a hot take off top of your head for something against the mainstream, against the grain?
Ooh, against the grain?
Yeah, like just something your a personal hot take on anything
Seth,
within gaming for
You
you.
didn't go against the grain.
I didn't. I didn't.
No,
as
no.
the words were coming out of my mouth, I was like, "This is just a hot take that everybody agrees with."
Yeah, so yeah, I don't know if I have one that goes against the grain. I mean, For me-
I can steal campers from Twitter
Oh,
earlier.
what's
Call of Duty
campers?
Ghost was actually a very good COD.
I actually quite liked what I played of it. I think it's a good game.
hmm
Yeah, I've got
It-
it on PS4.
It was one of the most hated. I think maybe besides what was the one that got so many dislikes? Was that when they did the World War II trailer?
No, Infinite Warfare is the
That's
one that
it.
got ratioed and did.
That's it.
And that
And-
one's incredibly good too.
hmm
Yeah, it was just and I understand because I felt the same way at the time. Was the fact that the only way you could play the remastered of Call of Duty 4 was by buying the whole game, and that was how they did it. They're like, hey, if you want it, you got to pay for the whole thing. Yeah, that was kind of gross.
The whole
People didn't like it.
$80.
Mm-hmm.
I did it. I don't regret it.
It was a good package.
I ended up loving the game.
hmm
Yeah.
I
It's
just didn't.
unfortunate though.
I just
They
didn't
should've
have
sold the
anybody to play
remaster by
with.
itself, but same problem. Same exact problem.
The only goofy thing with the Call of Duty 4 remaster, which was great, they did a great job with it overall, but the Xbox version never got the next gen refresh update. or the mid-gen refresh update patch that
Huh.
the PS4 version got. So Xbox kind of got screwed over, and the PS4 version's in like higher in like 1440p 60.
Oh
And
wow.
on PS5 it looks and runs fantastic. Whereas on Xbox it's just 10, it's like sub 1080p.
Looks better than the 360 version, but that's about it.
Hmm.
I thought it looked
It's
incredible.
identical otherwise.
Yeah.
It actually, they did. It does look substantially nicer though. Like when you play it on on a PS5 with the enhancements, it looks substantially better than the original game. Like they really did upgrade it a lot visually.
Mike, what's your hot take?
Still trying to think of one.
Chaos.
Sorry.
Uh, you know what? You know, hence the. I mean, for people that haven't caught it yet, hence the ball cap. I absolutely love the game Death Stranding, and it had a lot of dislike. Well, people either love it or hate it, or don't know what it is, or don't understand it.
I have no idea what it is.
Yeah, it's a PS4 game. It got updated on PS5, but it's a PS4 game. It's a Kojima game,
Oh, okay.
and it stars Norman Reedus and let me think of his name. You know the actor who played Hannibal Lecter in the Hannibal series, not the films, but the TV series for a bit there.
Um,
And he's been in plenty of stuff. He played a Bond villain once. I think he was a Bond villain.
yes, he was Daniel Craig's first villain in
The
Casino
first
Royale.
one, yeah. He was in
Oh,
Casino
I-
Reality.
Having
He's,
such
I
a hard
think
time
he's-
putting a name to that face.
He's got a foreign accent. He's foreign, so but he's a very cool actor.
It's like
But
Norwegian or some of that.
yeah, something like Norwegian. But yeah, I absolutely loved that game. That was damn near my game of the year that year.
Pull a picture of it up.
Now let's see. It's a gorgeous game too. It's the same engine as Horizon Zero Dawn and Killzone 4 and Killzone, yeah, Killzone 4. It's
love
that I
game
forget the name of
much,
that
but
engine.
It is definitely a gorgeous game. Oh,
Yeah. Now, see, here's the thing.
It's that.
I get it when people say, I tried it, it was interesting, but I couldn't get into it. That's fine. I have no issue with that whatsoever. That's perfectly understandable. It's very different. But the people that say it's a piece of crap, it's a walking simulator, they either didn't play it or don't know what they're talking, or they just don't understand. They just didn't understand it. They didn't give it the time at all to understand it. They're just talking shit. Which that's when I get annoyed. I'm just like, okay, you didn't play it then. Well, it looks stupid. Okay. I mean, yes, and things can look. Here's the thing: we all know that if you understand games well enough, you can look at a game in a video and know if you want to play it or not. Let's be real here. We know what we're looking at.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there's exceptions where it's like, man, I gave it a try and I didn't think I would like it, but I did. That can happen. But 90% of the time, though, if you look at a video of a game and you see gameplay, you know if it's going to be for you or not. If you know games.
You know who overhypes their trailers a lot because they do a lot of in-game scenes or cut scenes for their trailers is World of Warcraft and Skyrim.
Oh yeah.
Both of which are like, I want to play that. Oh wait, that's not actually what the game's gonna look like at all. Maybe the cutscenes and the story, maybe, but
I don't think Skyrim has any cutscenes.
I think you're correct.
I don't think it has any.
Oh no,
cutscenes.
in Skyrim it had a couple like when or at least where it would like pull your camera away or something when like dragons would come in or something like that the first couple times, like critical
but,
moments.
That's in-game engine. You're on a
Right.
rail system, essentially. In fact, only
Oh, I remember
It has
I remember
a
the trailers for this, and it looked so interesting.
It's very bizarre, but the story actually, it's very unique. It's very interesting. The game is gorgeous. The performances are fantastic. The character models are incredible. Like, it is a gorgeous game. They took that engine and just. I fell in love with the world. I fell in love with the mechanics of it because you're kind of building this world. You're exploring, and it's just massive and it's beautiful. And it's kind of scary and intense, and it is really I mean, like that right there is an in-game screenshot, and the PS5 version looks incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, it's just, I love it. I love it. I get it when people are kind of like, I don't know, I couldn't. It just didn't make sense to me. I couldn't get into it. I didn't know what to do with it. I get it, you know. But
Good
no, people. It's just the people
critical
that
thinking
bash
game.
it. Yeah, it is a very well. It's even hard to explain. It's just one you have to just try to experience. Like Mike tried. It didn't grab him so much, but he tried, and that's fine, you know.
I did try.
But he didn't
It's
bash the game. He doesn't dislike it. He's just like
gorgeous game.
Yeah.
Can't deny that even a little bit. I had a hard time getting into the story plot because I found aspects of it goofy, but
And that's that's fine.
I won't
you know?
tear it into it that hard over it. I got my hot take now.
I got it. Okay.
Yes. EDF series is the greatest games that nobody's ever played.
Oh well, I agree. I agree.
I have
I'll
not.
pull that.
I have not played those games.
Google a trailer of EDF 5 and watch a clip, and
I wonder how a video would play through because it's a little choppy, but maybe it'll be good enough. What do you think, Seth?
Oh, it'd probably be good enough if we play a trailer or something.
yeah, just EDF 5. I mean, all the series is great, but EDF 5 is just
EDF 5 is the
relevant
current,
right now.
Yeah, it's
6
the current
is
pinnacle until 6
out
comes
there.
out. This is short. This is minute 33.
I've never met a person who I haven't introduced that game to and then them loving it afterwards.
We just kind of fell into it years ago.
Oh, I fell into it way back in the 360 days when they actually
Yeah.
released games on the 360.
And that was when I
PS
wanted to play it and just
PlayStation
didn't get to it.
exclusive. Yeah.
Oh, so it's a couple years old.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It is an older game, but it's a series. They make them out every 4 or 5 years. They crank one out.
Death and destruction lie ahead. It's actually really choppy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty damn choppy. But
Well, you can get the gist of it. It does look
Yeah.
pretty sick. I downloaded 5.
Now, you guys play that
Oh.
on PlayStation, or is it?
it's only on PlayStation. Oh, actually, it's on PC as well.
Yeah.
Actually,
Dang
Ye-
it!
You know a game that I have not followed it for a long time. Okay, and I just now looked it up because I realized that they actually have newer versions of it. But you remember the original Ninja Gaiden?
Oh yeah.
yeah.
On the NES and arcade.
Yes, that game was legit. Like I played that game so much as a
Side-scrolling
kid.
platforming one.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Yep,
I have
the
not.
original.
I have not played it since. I haven't played it since it's all the other versions because there's a freaking ton of versions of it. But
Yeah. The really well known was like the Ninja Gaiden, and then Ninja Gaiden Black, which is the same game with just like tweaks done, I think.
yeah,
And then there's Ninja Gaiden 2. Is there a third one too?
Yeah. There's on the NES. I have them. There's 3. There's a Ninja Gaiden
No, I'm
trilogy
talking
on the
like
NES.
Xbox
And-
and 4.
Yeah. So all right. So the Ninja Gaiden was a arcade game. Then it came out on 8-bit on NES, and there's 3 of those. That's a trilogy. Then they re-released the trilogy on Super Nintendo, and that's like a $200 cartridge now or more. And now and then they started coming out with modern Ninja Gaidens from Team Ninja, the Dead or Alive developers, on OG and it launched on OG Xbox. And then they came out with Ninja Gaiden Black on Xbox, and then they renamed it Sigma on PS3 and started re-releasing them that way. And then they came out with 3 on 360 and PS3 and Wii U, Razor's Edge.
Weren't the Xbox games like ridiculously hard to beat?
Oh no, they've always. See, here's the thing about Ninja Gaiden. Ninja Gaiden was Dark Souls before Dark Souls in terms of get good.
yep.
It will whoop your ass.
Huh.
Okay, Ninja Gaiden is hardcore, but it's so good. It's so polished. It's so good. It's when it's like, hey, you just gotta have the skill. Like you gotta get good at the game. You gotta learn how to not get hit, put in your combos, and do this and that. It was hardcore, but it was hard but satisfying because it wasn't because the game was tough because it was like cheap, just all out cheap. It was because you just had to get it down. And when you did, it was like, oh my god, I beat that! Holy crap! Such
So
a
kind of like what's the new one that came out that everyone was playing a little bit ago?
Elden Ring.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I mean by Dark Souls, like the From Software games. They were kind of doing that before. They did that before Dark Souls was a thing. Which started with Demon Souls at PS3.
If you want to win, if you want to beat our game, you are going to have to get good, kid.
But this kind of sums up EDF right here. I mean, great giant ants, and you're a troop with guns that just blow them to pieces. Armies and armies of giant aliens and bugs, and you fight them off with like some of the coolest, funnest weaponry. And there's hundreds of guns, and you have to grind to get. See, Luke will like it because this game is very grindy, but in the best way. Okay?
What is this? What did this instantly remind me of? I'm drawing a blank.
I have never come across a game like it.
Oh no, not a game. The movies from the 80s and 90s.
Oh yeah. No, there's definitely there's like 1940s and 50s black and white big monster ant movies and stuff called them.
So that
No,
there
the
is
ones-
movie
the
and
ones that I'm-
television references in the game all over the place.
The ones I'm thinking of are when they go to alien planets. It's not on Earth.
Starship Troopers.
Yes.
Oh.
Yep.
Yep. There's a little bit
Strong
of that.
vibes there. Yeah,
Yeah.
strong
Yeah.
vibes there.
Oh, you know,
Especially
actually
when
quite a
you're
bit
playing
actually.
as a
Yeah. Yeah.
When you have 1,000 ants coming at you and you're a lowly ranger, yeah, it's
Dude, you talk about a
Starship
missed opportunity. If they made there is one that's actually supposed to be pretty good. A Starship Troopers game, a legit, awesome, big map. Starship Troopers, you and your assault rifle, bugs coming at you. Oh man, that'd be sick. That'd be sick. Hold your position. Yeah, that'd be cool.
They'd have to be really careful with it so it didn't just turn into a tower defense game. I think they
Right,
can make
right,
a really a free, fun, every once in a while tower defense game like that, but they'd have to do a really good job to actually pull it off. And the movies even weren't that great necessarily.
I love the first one. The first one is the sequels, on the other hand, is where things get goofy.
Yeah,
the first
no,
one's a lot of fun.
that's because the age that we were when they came out in the shower scene. Let's not just the rest of the
Hey.
movie. That was a shock and all. You're like, what?
Hey, I did
I
crush
like
on
the
that
original.
lady from her and Braveheart. She was in. I'm sorry, she was in Dragonheart
Braveheart.
and I meant to say Dragonheart. She was in Dragonheart and Starship Troopers. That redhead, like I've crushed
Yep.
on her since I was a little kid.
yeah, Dizzy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she was very beautiful back in the.
I like the movies, but they wrecked the book. Like the book and that
There's a
the
book.
movie. Yeah, well, it's based off the book.
Why would you read the book when you can watch the movie?
I saw the
That's
movie
what-
first
that's
and
what's
then the
wrong with
book.
our
and No
generation.
offense,
Yep.
For
the
the
book was written in the 50s.
oh wow.
I guess another hot take that's considered a hot take anyway, depending on who you're talking to, is that Last of Us 2 has one of the biggest debaucheries of a good characters and story ever put to a sequel in a game. Like, for something that went from like the first game being a instant classic and then ruining it with the sequel. Last of Us 2 was a piece of trash. I hate that game. I hate what they did to it. But the story wise, gameplay and graphics, different story. But the
Right.
story and characters is horrible. What they did.
Another PlayStation exclusive
Yep.
that poor old me can't play.
You get a PlayStation.
I'd have to.
Now, until some
have
people
money
think of
to
more
do
hot
that.
takes, because hot takes are fun. What about like? So what about favorite consoles? Like, what when you think of, okay, if you have to pick one that is like nearest and dearest to your heart for whatever reason.
360.
Well,
Okay.
damn, here said it.
360. Okay.
First next gen console that I owned and was actually able to play online.
Same, and it's like the last generation where I felt like anybody could come to play and make a game.
Ooh.
Technically in that genre, but 360 is where I was happy to go because it was considered to be typically just an American console, but yet there was still stuff coming up from around the world on that console.
Mm-hmm.
Here's your elite model, the black
Yep,
one that
yep.
had the hard drive on top.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Elite was the only way to go at the time until they came out with this one.
Yeah.
But
was my
even
first
though they failed
Xbox.
too, but they didn't fail quite as often. But they did
Yeah.
fail.
I
They
think
were
I
slightly
think my
updated.
I think my little brother still has my 360. That
Okay.
one.
I still think the OG Xbox is the best.
Oh man, I don't disagree. I love
in-
OG Xbox.
Yeah, and I didn't care for the online stuff. I like doing LAN parties where you could deal with your frustrations in person. And I'll tell you what, you really did set
Right
yourself
here.
apart of who's the best player. Of course, the group you're playing against is a lot smaller, right? So-
Right.
But you could talk mad smack at school because you knew you were playing against kids you knew.
OG Xbox with the Duke. Now the Duke controller, I was okay with them updating that.
The Duke controller,
Big
The
controller.
the big
yeah,
one.
the controllers were huge,
Yeah.
man.
But then it got redesigned to the Slim, which was based out of off the Japanese version. It was smaller because Japanese were like, "Holy crap, this is a big controller." And then they redesigned it, and then we were like, you know what? Let's take that and
Them
the
with
360.
them
And
small
to this
hands.
day, so this was the 360 controller in its original form until they updated for 360, and now we have this evolved
Yeah.
up to now.
Yeah.
The
It wasn't as
diagonal.
bad as the Cube. The Cube's controller was the nightmare.
See, I actually like the Cube controller. It had its own. It had personality. The D-pad was no good, but a lot of other things about it I like quite a bit actually. It was a very interesting controller.
And the Cube controller was the 3-prong controller, right? Where you had to move your hand around to hit all the buttons.
That's 64.
No,
That's 64.
not 64.
Oh, never mind. Never mind. Take it all back. I take it all
Yeah,
back.
64 was
64
funky.
controller.
Yeah.
They got
was-
off that crazy once they got to the cube.
The Cube controller. It just had one joystick, right? Or did it have two?
It had two. It was kind of funny because it was a little. It was the C joystick. It was yellow, but it was little.
Right.
But it was a second joystick. I love the big A button on it. That was nice. But for me now my favorite console, I'm kind of with Luke. I love the OG Xbox. I have so many fond memories with it. I love the 360. Had a lot of great times in 360. Me personally, it's PlayStation 1. PlayStation 1 has always been my favorite.
Glad someone did something different. See, me, it was a toss-up between PS2 and Xbox 360.
I had a lot of fun times with PlayStation 2 just because of Guitar Hero.
I couldn't afford a 2. I only had a 1 until I had the 5, and then I only had I had Xboxes, but I couldn't afford to like buy the extra games.
Right.
Literally only had like 1 or 2 games, dude. And I drove those until I t-shirted them out. Which thanks, Steven. Probably would have lasted longer. But my man, I don't know. I thought, and I could be screwed up in the head, right? But I thought I played Ninja Gaiden on Super Nintendo. Did I play Ninja Gaiden on Super Nintendo?
You may have. I mean, there was a Ninja Gaiden trilogy on Super Nintendo.
And then-
it's pretty rare though. But you
And
could've.
then was Cubic also on Super Nintendo?
Maybe.
I don't know what cube
The-
it is, but okay.
The hair whipping game?
Hold on. Let's see.
Did I mess up the name on that?
I don't know.
Wait. There's
It's a red-headed dude that whips his hair.
redheaded dude that whips his hair.
Hang
What
on,
kind
I'm
of
gonna get
game
this-
is it?
It's a it reminds me of Contra except for you use your hair instead of a gun.
Oh
Yeah, man.
Hang on.
You got me stumped. I usually know this. I usually can figure
Hang
these
on,
out.
hang on. I probably screwed the name up is actually what happened. And I'm gonna like say it and you guys are like, oh
So-
no, shoot. Chambers, you're reading the wrong language. Kabuki.
Oh, wait, sorry. K-A what? B-U-K-I?
Buki.
Kabuki?
Kabuki.
Yeah.
Okay, so all right. Kabuki on what you said? On Super Nintendo.
Well, it was NES, but I thought it was on Super Nintendo as well.
Ah.
Yeah,
Oh,
there she is. I
wow.
love that game, dude. That game
Never
I
played
literally
this.
burned up. I burned that bad boy up and had to go borrow another one.
That's crazy. I've never played this. Kabuki Quantum Fighter. Huh. Look at that.
Yeah, you got to play it. I had dreams about whipping my hair and it beating the crap out of people, and I never had long hair. So there you go.
Scary
But
thought.
but yeah, no, you'll have to watch the gameplay on it. But it's pretty freaking awesome.
It's not too bad to get a hold of one. It's not too bad. This guy wants a lot for a complete one. $30. That's probably a little. It's probably more like I would only pay 30 if it had. Oh, this guy's got a
Retron
bid
HD
open.
could play it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah,
That's,
so
that's
that was.
interesting. I've never even seen this cover. I've never
Yeah.
seen this game.
I thought it was Super Nintendo though, not. Maybe there was a version on Super Nintendo, but anyway,
See-
yeah, that was
I like it because you just introduced me to a game I've never even heard of. Because that's why there's a lot of NES games I've never seen or play because NES is just at the cusp of where I know a lot of it, but there's a lot I still don't. And because my collection is decent, but not like incredible.
yeah. And you have to remember when I was a kid, it was a yard sale special, right? So I wasn't getting games that were like brand new. I was getting whatever my mom found at the yard sale.
Right.
For
Cool.
a quarter.
Heck yeah, but this game, dude, and that little person in the white suit right there, they like drop in the game. That's who you're playing as, but they drop in the game like at certain parts, like if you win something special or you.
Because this is you.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
but no, it's a good little game. I mean, and really, it taught me a lot on how to play because it's very interactive. You can jump and you can grab onto bars. So like if you time your double jumps, you can actually find the secret areas of the map.
How about this one?
Yeah.
You ever seen that?
Dino Wars.
It's a terrible game, but I loved it as a kid. It's super hard. I could never get very far in it, but I still just thought it was cool.
No, I never played that game.
Man, that's like not showing any actual screenshot. There it is. That's what it looked like. You would turn into it. You would be a robot dinosaur, and you're stomping around, and it was really hard, and it would turn into a shooter.
Yeah. The other one that was really cool was Mega Man.
Oh yeah, of course. I love Mega Man. My favorite's Mega Man X on Super Nintendo. That's my favorite. Played it numerous times.
Now, was that a Super Nintendo game?
Mega Man was on NES, like 1, 2, 3, like half of them are on NES, and then they eventually made it to Super Nintendo. And then, but most of them are, most of the OG Mega Man are on NES. And then,
Gotcha.
actually, if I remember right, I think they didn't even make it to Super Nintendo until Mega Man X. I think Mega Man X was kind of the way they kind of introduced it to Super Nintendo, maybe.
I couldn't tell
Oh,
you.
here's one that I played the heck out of on Super Nintendo. Gradius.
Oh, Gradius.
Gradius. I remember that.
Yeah, great. Yeah, that's a bullet hell.
Mm-hmm.
It's a come again.
Yeah, a horizontal bullet hell.
Yeah. Not like Galaga where it was a...
Vertical.
Yep, that's it.
Yep, that is it, man. This is not. I don't think this is one that's easy to get a hold of anymore. Oh, you know what though? It's on. It's on Switch and it's on Switch and maybe maybe even Xbox. Arcade
No.
archives. You see these? These arcade archive digital games I
Ooh.
do.
I'm gonna have to look.
Let's see. Let me do. Well, that's Gradius 3, mind you, but
Well, it looks
Was
very similar to the.
was it Gradius 3? It might have been great. It might have been Gradius 3.
It could have been. It could have been that, or if you scroll up a bit. Or yeah, what's that cartridge? Is that just the
yeah,
that
this is
Gradius 3?
I think this is the only Gradius on Super Nintendo's 3.
Mm-hmm.
I think. What it looks like. Yeah.
That was so cool. There were some. We got to the levels a couple times where the screen just goes super fast and it's more reactive more than fighting.
Let's see. I think I spelled that wrong. So Arcade Archives. Just curious if it's on Arcade Archives Gradius, released for Xbox One and Switch and PlayStation 4. Yeah, I think there's Gradius 2. It's the older one. It might be. It's worth a look. You might be able to relive your childhood a little bit on Xbox. Because these Arcade Archive releases are great. That's how I've been playing Super Baseball.
Oh, right on.
Now, did you guys ever play Mutant League Football?
No.
Yes, a
I
little
know
bit.
of it. I know of it. Finally, something I know of.
I think I played it with you and Matt at one point in California.
Yeah, no, you did, and dude, that was the fun. Like you could rip people's spine out of their back and spike it. You'd spike their head and their spine.
Was it Wait, was it what console was it?
It was NES, I thought, or Super Nintendo.
Yeah, I think
Wasn't there
it's
a
Super
cartoon
Nintendo.
that went with it as well?
This is Sega Genesis. I know it's on Sega Genesis. Why is it not? Is it not?
The original one I didn't think was on. It could have been on Genesis, but well, I never owned a Genesis, so
Oh, you own this? You had it?
I thought I had it, but I also could have just borrowed it from Matt. You know how that goes. There's the game. Well, no, that must be newer gameplay right
No,
there.
there is a newer one. There is a newer one they did. This right here.
Yeah.
This is a new one they put out as kind of a spiritual, as a rebirth of it. But this is the original.
Gotcha.
This is Genesis anyway. I thought it was on I thought it was on something Nintendo
Yeah.
as well.
I love that game. It was so violent. I mean, not really, but really. You know what I'm saying?
Wow, I think it was only Genesis, oddly enough. At least from what I'm looking. Weird. I don't have it, so I'm not.
I must
100%.
have just borrowed it from Matt and
Maybe.
I played it over at his house, but
I could have sworn you all showed it to me though. I could have sworn that I played it with somebody before that I didn't own.
yeah.
I was like with somebody and we played it
Yeah.
together. It's a wild
The-
game.
Yeah, the other one was that we played all the time was Twisted Metal. Was it
Oh
Twisted
yeah.
Metal?
Yes, Twisted Metal 3. That was that was the one that we stayed up all night playing.
That's
was-
right.
Oh man, you know my jam was Thumper.
I love the ice cream truck.
Everybody
Yeah,
love-
Sweet Tooth.
There
It is
you
right
go. There
That's-
she is, baby.
That's one of my favorite ones. Twisted Metal 3. And you know what? There's a hot take actually that Luke and I both agree on already. Unfortunately, you all haven't played it. Twisted Metal 3.
I've played 3 and
You
2
played 3?
and 1, and 2
Okay.
is my favorite.
See, Twisted Metal 3 is generally regarded as a terrible game, like one of the worst in the series. It's one of my favorites in the series. But most people say, oh, it's a piece of crap, and they didn't like it. It was actually because that was the first one that went to 989 Studios, away from, I believe it's Insomnia. No, let me get this right. Twisted Metal developer originally was originally Incognito. There it is. So Incognito, those are and along with Sony Interactive. Well, no, that's 99. So Incognito, they created the series and they made 1 and then 2 and then 3. They handed it over to 989 Studios, which was a Sony studio, and then they did 3 and 4 and Sci-Fi. Mike, they're the Days Gone guys.
Who are 989?
Yeah, the Sci-Fi Filter guys. Maybe not just Metal, but 99 Studios that was their original studio. The guys the main guys that did Days Gone. They still own the Sci-Fi Filter series.
On the Nintendo, there was a car game very similar to Twisted Metal. Which I can't remember the name of it for some reason. But I swear to God,
there was
989 Studios
played
made
it.
that game, I thought, too.
Yeah. All right. So there's 2. There's It's actually the original. See, basically the Twisted Metal guys.
Vigilante 8? I think it was called Vigilante 8.
Yes, there's Vigilante 8, which there's a couple of those, right? And they were very, very much Twisted Metal-y.
Yeah.
Then there was Road Trip. I think it's Road Trip. I think it's Road Trip, and that was from the Twisted Metal guys directly.
Yeah, I know the Vigilante 8, and I remember it was 989 Studios, which you just told me was.
This was a PlayStation 1 game from. I mean, it's GT Interactive and all that, but this had some of the guys from Twisted Metal, I believe. Yeah, from the million-selling developer of Car Combat. So it's from the Twisted Metal guys that did this game. It's very much Twisted Metal. It's a kooky game. But then Vigilante 8 were these games.
Yes.
And I think there was a couple of them. I think, yeah, two. Second Offense.
Yeah.
It was on Dreamcast, PlayStation 1,
Didn't
and 64.
play the second one much. Played the crap out of the first one, though.
Yeah, they were okay, but at the end of the day, none of these were quite Twisted Metal. But I love Twisted Metal 3 though, and that is a hot take because most people consider Twisted Metal 3 to be one of the worst. I think it's one of the best. I love Twisted Metal 3 because the characters were fun. The characters had good specials. It wasn't perfect, but it was a lot of fun.
One of those you could drive around. I think it was for the N64 Vigilante 8. You could get a ambulance, and whoever could pick the ambulance first won.
Oh,
You know who you are.
yeah. There's a
And
64 version.
we didn't own the game. It was my cousin's.
I first rented it and then I bought it.
Yeah. Boy, what's another? Because we got into the whole thing with fanboys last episode, and there's all sorts of examples of stories with that.
Have you guys played? What is that game? Dynasty Warriors.
Mhm.
Isn't that what is the longest running game other than COD? Like has the most
Oh, franchise?
versions
There's
out?
a lot longer franchises than COD.
Well, I don't understand. So you mean what's the longest running franchise period, or what are we talking about?
Well, no. So I was thinking that Dynasty Warriors, right, was a game that I played when I was just a little kid, and they just came out with a brand new set. I think is it Dynasty? I'm looking it up right now, trying to.
Well, Dynasty Warriors started on PlayStation 1 as a one-on-one fighter, then it turned into a massive beat 'em up on PlayStation 2.
Yes, and it has a current release, right?
There's Dynasty Warriors 9, and there's games. It's from Tecmo Koei. They still make those. They still make that series and other series. They're like Samurai Warriors, and they're all the same vein as each other.
Yeah.
Different worlds, but China, Japan, different settings. Even they took their engine to like Zelda and forgot the name of the franchise just now, but it's a Nintendo franchise. They take the concept of the beat 'em up concept that they developed at Koei, Tecmo Koei, and they apply it to other franchises like Zelda. Like they literally took Zelda and turned it into Dynasty Warriors Zelda Edition, basically.
Gotcha.
I need that game.
It's a lot of fun. I played it on the Wii U, and there's a Switch port.
Okay.
Really fun. I really enjoyed it. There's a second one too that I would like to get.
There's even a Dynasty
I have a
Warriors
Switch.
Gundam game out there.
A what?
There's a Dynasty Warriors Gundam game out there.
There is. I've got both of them on 360.
Oh, there's two? Oh, I only knew
Yep,
the
there
one.
are. Yep, I got them both. Because I thought it
What
was
are they
cool that they did that.
What are they called?
The Gundam ones. See,
For Dynasty Warriors Gundam will probably get you something. Always been a big Gundam fan.
Dynasty Warriors Gundam, literally. I thought maybe that was too on the nose. Yeah, there it is. See? Yeah, they straight up.
Straight up.
Yeah, Bandai Namco Koei. That's right. Bandai
Yeah, the one
Namco.
on the right there. That's the one I remember seeing, and
Mhm.
like, yeah, I might actually play that.
And there are two of them. There are two. Oh no, I'm sorry. There are three. In
Oh,
fact,
three.
right?
Oh,
Do
okay.
I don't think I have the third. Well, that's a Peggy 12 that may or may not be North American. I wouldn't be shocked if it didn't.
That's the British's
Mhm.
system.
Mhm.
Would those not play on on our 360s?
I don't think they're backwards compatible now.
Weird.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry. Okay, let me clarify.
Well, sideways compatible.
I kind of said two things at once. So, none of them are backwards compatible on Xbox One in general. So I need to put that out there. But what you're meaning is non-North American working on a North American console. In the case of 360 and before, I don't think so. Now Xbox One and PS4 and beyond, and even Switch, it's kind of region unlocked for everything. As far as I know, because I know for a fact for PS4 and Switch they are. Like I've got Japanese Switch games that work on it just fine, and they're translated too. Or they're the region on there's I can watch any Blu-ray I can watch any region Blu-ray on Xbox One or PS5, especially PS5. I think Xbox One as well. I'm pretty sure, or a Series X. It's region unlocked. Used to it was like always this big deal, but they kind of gotten to where they're just like, eh. But I think
just release it for
Blu-rays
everybody.
though. Yeah. I mean, it's like and PlayStation. I think PlayStation 4. I've never had a DVD or Blu-ray not work in it, and I've had a couple of. I've got like one or two of European this and that. Almost by accident. It was National Lampoon's like vacation set, and it was like it had a European age rating on it. It was like, that's not what I was.
Dang
It's not-
it.
but it plays all the same, and it's not like it's in some other language or anything. It's just just not North American technically. I just don't like the way those age ratings look. They look weird, and I don't like that in amongst my other movies. It's just because I'm weird.
The Peggy.
Yeah. I don't. I just don't like other. One of the only exceptions I have is that the Area 57.
What? You mean Area 88?
Area 88. That's one of the few imports I have that I got specifically, but
Because I turned you on to that.
yeah, but like a lot of imports, I don't collect a whole lot of them because I don't like the way a lot of them look. So I in some cases there are exceptions, but they I kind of segment them off from my other stuff.
Very interesting.
But yeah, like what's another hot take?
Yeah, let's get back to the hot takes.
We got 10 minutes left.
Oh no.
I'm trying
At
to
least
think
I
this-
had started the call a little later this time, so we're actually getting closer to that hour episode mark.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
We
I'll
should-
say this.
Plan it better and actually just start it at 8.
Yeah, we're getting there. I mean, we're talking 5 minutes here, but
Yeah.
Well, a couple more episodes will be there at least.
yeah. But all right, like let's say Minecraft. Minecraft is obviously massive to a lot of younger people and people that have already. I fall asleep.
Yes, I remember you
I fall
fell
asleep
asleep
to that
when we were
game.
playing with you once.
Yeah, dude, it's bad. Okay, I don't get it.
Passed out
I
while we were
think I
playing.
literally did. I literally did.
But me and Jade, you passed the F out.
And I'm not bashing the game. I get some of the qualities about it. That's fine, but I think it's overrated. I think with how much people love it and play it and obsess over it. I'm like, and when Steve the main character showed up in Smash Brothers and everybody's like, oh my god. I'm like,
You're like,
all right,
careless.
Yeah. Okay. And
yeah.
I will state that game did spawn another game that I love, and that's 7 Days to Die. If anybody's ever played that,
I want to play it.
No.
I want to play it.
it is mainly there's a console port, but it's mainly a PC game, and it is zombie survival, but using the Minecraft mechanics with better graphics, essentially. Not way better, but slightly better. And it is best zombie survival game you can play.
Do you have weapons?
Oh, yes, you do. Melee, guns, you can mod them out, upgrade them, get better ones, build yourself a fortress, go deep underground,
I mean, the concept
level
is
the
one
map.
thing I want.
You gotta scavenge, and there's zombies everywhere, and then every 7 days you get a horde night where it doesn't matter where you're at, they just throw bazillions of zombies at you, and you gotta defend for your life.
So is it literal 7 days or is it game 7 days?
It's game 7 days, so it has its own clock system.
Gotcha.
Okay.
But depending what your settings are, that could be like my last time I was playing, I had so every 8 hours is equivalent to 7 days, and therefore I'd get a horde every 8 hours. You could dive so many hours in that game. Super fun. Console version's terrible because they won't update it, but it may have a future someday because the guys who originally made the game have finally got a hold of the rights to it back.
Oh, nice.
And it's never been finished. It started in 2012 as a mod for Minecraft. And they just kept on updating, and people love the game. It's fun game.
You know, I guess a slightly hot take from Mike and I is how good the game Days Gone is. That it was not given enough praise. Yeah, I mean, it's
an excellent game. Sorry,
and it was not given. Everything went to Last of Us 2 Game of the Year. I mean, well, that was the same year, but
was it the same year?
No, it wasn't. But see, that's why I guess that's why my Last of Us 2 is a hot take because it got Game of the Year, and people were virtue signaling about it, and critics pretended like they thought it was the greatest thing ever. But it was such a divisive game because of the story, and I'm in that camp of I've seen it now. Mind you, I've seen the whole game. I know the whole story. I've watched the whole thing, and I'm like, good God, the game is beautiful. The mechanics are cool, but the story is just god awful trash. That I pretend doesn't exist in that world because I love the first game. All right, another hot take then. Because of Game of the Year, it's like, oh, Game of the Year, greatest game ever. You're stupid if you don't like it. Okay, well, Sekiro died twice.
Yeah.
Critics praised it. People like it a lot. It got Game of the Year in a lot of publications. I'm a Dark Souls guy. I am a From Software dude. I uninstalled it, and I'm probably going to end up getting rid of the collector's version I have to get some money out of it because I just don't think I'll ever play it. I don't do that.
That bad, huh?
For me, because even though the game, there's a lot of things about it that are cool. I wouldn't say it's technically a bad game, but there was things they did in the mechanics that I absolutely did not like. And the game was so frustrating; it was just not even remotely fun anymore. Like you try to get into it, and it just slaps you in the face and tells you to like it.
Love me.
More than Elden Ring could ever even try to do. That's the thing. Some people try to act like Elden Ring would do that. No, you can't even touch Sekiro Die Twice. Can't even touch that.
I remember sometimes being on chat with you while you were playing that.
Oh my god, I was so mad. It was just the game. It's shallow and gets boring because there's one way to fight enemies, and if you don't master that one way, that's a pain in the ass way to play it. You're gonna suck and you're gonna die, and that's it. I'm like, how's that persevering? Do it one way or you suck. Well, yeah. I don't want to do it that way. I don't like doing it that way. Well, then you're gonna die and you're gonna suck. All right. Well, I'm just not gonna play then.
Elden Ring, you have lots of options.
Elden Ring, there is perseverance because you're gonna find a way. You just persevere and put in the time. You will find a way. It's an adventure. It's a world. It's awesome. I love Elden. Even non-Souls players, easily. Souls games, yeah, it's a little bit of that, but they still, even those have options. Sekiro, there's no options. You don't get other weapons. You don't get other abilities. You have a set of them, and that's all you got.
Good luck.
Yeah, there's literally, this is what you have. Good luck. for the whole
I,
game.
I love Dark Souls 3.
Oh, Dark Souls 3 is amazing. I love Dark Souls 3. That was my game of the year. I think it was what, 2016 when it came out, or was it 17 or whatever it
Remember that
was?
far back.
It was that was my game of the year that year. The year it came out, that was my game of the year. Loved it.
I
Absolutely
haven't
loved
played
it.
any of them.
Elden Ring
you're
is
missing it.
absolutely. If you're gonna play anything from those guys and those types of games at all, Elden Ring is the most accessible, biggest bang for your buck. It's a fantastic game. Elden Ring all the way. If you're gonna kind of dip your toes in Elden Ring, 100%.
I'm gonna put my 2 cents in because I played the original Dark Souls back then, and that almost took out my first flat screen I ever owned. And I've tried playing other ones and never cared for them, but Elden Ring, I beat the whole stuffing out, and I love that. It's a great game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had
Maybe
to
one
kind of
day.
talk him into getting further in. He bought it. He was started, and I knew that it was going to be harder for him because he wasn't a Souls player. So there were certain things he's like, wait, what the heck is up with this? And I'm like, so I kind of coached him to get started. I kind of just did the first segment of the game, and then once he got going, boy, he just took off, right? But I just had to. I just kind of got.
Now I'm 100
started.
levels above you.
Right, yeah. So that's the beauty of the game, right? So for me, it was easy to pick up, but that's because I'm a Souls player. If you're not a Souls player, it's still accessible more than ever. But there's a few things. It's like, man, this is different. I've never seen this mechanic before. The way you die, the way you come back, the way you get the way you level up. It's a little different. But once you get it and you got it, oh man, it's so good. So.
The way you die a lot.
Yeah, you're going to die a lot, and it's normal. It's normal to die a lot. There's nothing wrong with it. It's frustrating, but it's part of the design of you're going to die, and you're going to learn, and you come back and you persevere.
Luke, we still have to try Ark Survival.
Yeah.
My cousin's all about that, man. But Jaden, he is huge on that game. He wants me. I can't. See. I appreciate it for what it is. I think it would put me to sleep.
I want a dragon.
I played it when it first released on Xbox, and it played like crap when it first released. It was such a nightmare.
It's notorious for its lack of performance. It's a little better now on the series.
I'm sure it's way better now, but
it was we'll see. Jaden, you said if it wasn't a slideshow, you weren't really playing the game. And we were like, I'm like, you know what? We were kind of that way with EDF at one point.
Well, that was standard operating procedure for.
Oh,
EDF,
looks like
but...
we got about 45 seconds.
All righty, thanks for tuning in to the old podcast. We were just kind of winging it and chatting today for fun. So we'll catch you on the next one.
Bye-bye.
Hey, the guys.